Republicans have always complained about using one-time money for ongoing expenses. How does this square with the philosophy of Republicans?
Sure. I mean, the 13 million is going to be paid back. And compared to the situations that we had when I was in the legislature 5, 6, 7 years ago, as opposed to across-the-board cuts, I think this is exactly the kind of leadership and the steadiness that we have to do. I mean, you can prepare a budget, but there's always going to be factors that come into play. The commodity prices, sales tax revenues, that had to be reacted to. I think this was the most appropriate way for the governor to do that.
You have a Republican primary shaping up for 2018 on the gubernatorial race. Ron Corbett, the Cedar Rapids mayor, has said it is a mortal sin to balance the budget like this. What are your thoughts?
Well, I disagree. I think it's, maybe I'm talking more with a former legislator hat, but
is he.
That's correct. But if you have a shortfall and you either cut, and we can't cut services in the middle of a fiscal year like that. That would be completely irresponsible. We'd be going back to the Culver years if that's what we did. And I think this was the most responsible way for the governor to have consistent and a steady budget, and they will be paying that back.
Mr. Price, your party has never made fiscal responsibility sort of the clarion call for campaigns. Mm-hmm. You've been more focused on other issues. Does this issue have legs for Democrats when it's not been that upper level issue?
Absolutely. I mean, the reality is this, is that when, when Kim Reynolds and Terry Branstad took office, there was $1 billion in the reserves between the rainy day fund and the surplus or reserve account. There was over $1 billion, or nearly $1 billion in that account. That money has now been cut in half. With all due respect to my colleague here, the chairman talks about that this is sound budgeting practices, yet people in that party, I mean, I was in the governor's office, you folks will remember that. I was in the governor's office during that time, and they railed at the fact that we had to occasionally do the exact same thing that Kim Reynolds is doing. The fact is that this is a manufactured crisis that is coming about not because of commodity prices or anything like that. This is coming about because the state is giving out way too many tax credits to corporations. We're seeing this over and over again. These tax credits that are out there, we don't even know how many there are, what the liability is for the state.